Welcome to the Global Premier Football Show. I am your host, Shaquille, and I have Chidi with me today. So we had Group A and Group B games today. We know who is going to go to the next round. It was very competitive and very exciting games. And let's get into it. Group A, Ecuador versus Senegal. We knew that it was going to be very close game. Senegal made through to the next round. Netherlands versus Qatar. We predicted that Nederland is going to win. U.S.A. versus Iran, very close game. U.S.A. made it through. England versus Wales. Wales were poor. England made it through with an easy win. So let's dive into it. The first game of the day, well, actually, first two games of the day, Ecuador versus Senegal. What do you think, Chidi, happened during the game? Or were you? I know you wanted African team to win, Senegal, but it doesn't matter on the pitch because whoever plays the best wins the game. What do you feel like or think that what happened on the pitch today?
Yeah, well, again, it's a very beautiful day for us to watch the games that, the games are coming thick and fast. And here, Senegal and Ecuador, yesterday when we were talking about it, you mentioned that you want Ecuador to win. And now you mentioned that it doesn't matter who your favorites are. It's basically what happens on the pitch. And what you just said was what when I was watching the game, that was how it came out. Because at some point, Senegal were on the back foot, when Ecuador equalized 1-1. And well, whosoever your favorites are, once the ball starts rolling on the pitch, it doesn't know who the favorites are. It's the one that puts it behind the net or, to the back of the net that, gets the day. But honestly, again, looking at the game itself, I think Senegal were poor for me. I think they are not yet playing to their full potential. Yes, Mane is not there, but I think they are being held back. They are not playing, they are not direct. They are too passive for me, for my liking, and also seeing the quality in the team. And Mane is not the only quality player in the Senegalese team. You have a lot of very good players, from their goalkeeper to their defenders, Koulibaly, the midfielders and the attackers. They play in very good clubs. They play in top leagues in Europe. But I think they're still very passive. They don't play with this vibe, this desire to start a game and finish it.
Yeah, the level of like positive aggressiveness on the field, like Senegal has a good, strong physical team. It's like when you watch when you expect to watch Chelsea game or West Ham game, they have those players that are really physically strong, and they show on the pitch by winning the balls or running into the opposition box. You don't get to see that with Senegal.
Yeah, they're just like passively passing the ball. They don't create enough chances for you to say that they missed the chances, but maybe next time they'll get it well. If not for the set piece, where they used to score the second goal, I don't know how they were going to come back into that game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say still like luck. Senegal, I watched the highlights. Senegal in the first half were had a lot of chances. They were going into the opposition box. They were trying to had shots on the target, but Ecuador did come back in the second half and had more threat in the opposition box. But as per my expectations, it was going to be close game. And it was a close game, but winner takes it all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a draw wouldn't favor Senegal, I suppose. Only a win would take them to the next round.
Yeah. Senegal wanted a win. If they did draw, then Ecuador would have made it because
going through.
Yeah. Same thing that happened to Iran today. Let's move on to the next game: Netherlands versus Qatar. I actually didn't watch. Even the highlights were not that long, and I mean, it was expected. Qatar being a host, I think that's the poorest performance by host so far in any World Cup. They lost all the games.
Well, again, we have to be fair to Qatar. Qatar is not a superpower in football, and I mean, I remember South Africa in 2010. South Africa plays a better football and have better players than Qatar. If I have to judge them by then in South Africa, and now with Qatar, Qatar is a very small country. They are not that strong, and they were surrounded by teams that were stronger, very, very stronger than them. And again, I think they put in their best efforts. But again, when you're playing against a team like the Netherlands, Senegal, Ecuador, these are players that, and teams that their players play in the top leagues in Europe. They're very, very competitive. They are very strong, So I don't think there's any group that you will put Qatar in this World Cup as a host country that they will be able to qualify from. So
right. Yeah.
I think it's just the record is there that they never won any game, and I think they did not score any goal.
They didn't score any goal. No.
So that's yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna put them in the category like, yeah, they did a great job hosting the World Cup, but to actually play on an international level, you have to have that deep squad and experience and everything. They will come. They will do better. Like, they are on the path. Then they have all the things required. Xavi has managed a team in Qatar. So half of the team of Qatar right now is in the same club that Xavi managed. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say Xavi is one of the best managers, but now Xavi has played football on a very high level, so he must have told or taught them something that will help them in the later years.
Yeah, maybe down the line. I mean, just a quick correction here. They did score one goal against Senegal. They scored one goal.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they scored one goal. So apologies for that. But again, it doesn't change the fact that they were not good enough on all rounds. Whether in defense or sitting back and trying to counter attack. They were not good enough. And in a World Cup setting like this, you have to be very, very good to be able to stand a chance against these top footballing nations.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, were you satisfied with the Netherlands performance today?
Personally, I'm not satisfied, and the Netherlands have been average as well. I watched their game because I was watching the both games. Saying, I mean, Qatar is a walkover for the Netherlands. I think the Netherlands they've not faced any strong opposition. Senegal did not play to their best, maybe because of the issue with Mane not being there. I don't know if that was affected them psychologically in order to play to their best potential. And then Ecuador was the team that came nearest to mounting a very strong challenge, on the Netherlands, and they tied 1-1, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, you cannot say that the Netherlands have kick-started, like what you see from Portugal, what you see from France, what you see from
not the
Brazil.
same intensity.
No, not the same level of play, not the same intensity.
They also have the same age problem, like average age is higher.
Yeah, but again, Gakpo has been their outstanding player this season, in this World Cup. The young player from I think PSV Eindhoven or Feyenoord, I can't remember where he's playing. But again, it tells me that they are not title contenders. I don't think. I think they may beat the USA because they will be playing them next. But I think they will find it difficult to beat the USA because the USA pose a lot of threats, with the way they play and their approach to the game as well. They seem to be a fearless team.
Yeah, speaking of USA, let's move on to Group B matches. Let's talk about Iran versus USA. I watched the entire game, and I was expecting Iran to do better. but Iran did not do much in the first half. They were complacent and they were waiting for some, maybe they were waiting for a draw. But you don't set back and put yourself in that position where yeah, you have a chance to draw and go to the next round, but you have to be mindful of the other team pressing, and their strikers were way better, coming deep into your box, and the goal conceded by Iran was a poor goal, and they again, bad defending. They couldn't mark the players and not coming back in time.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, what are your thoughts?
Iran had that game to win. They had the best chances. They did not know what to do in the final third, and they were not decisive enough on what to do, whether to shoot or whether to make passes. And they had clearer chances to score. As you said, I think they were playing for a draw. But when you're playing for a draw, you have to step up your game and be on par with your opposition. And that is what happened to Iran. Iran, I was disappointed, in their general gameplay. But again, you have to give kudos to the United States on how they approached the game. They knew that a draw as well will not favor them. I think a draw will favor Iran, right?
Yeah,
because
if
Iran
it was
with
a draw,
point,
Iran would have moved to the next round.
Iran would have moved on. But again, they played strong. They defended deep. They counter-attack. They moved the ball quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first half, they were in control. In the second half, Iran had control. But
Yes.
Iran did not have
The finishing touch.
Yes, the finishing touch. And even there is, for example, you remember the game against Korea and Ghana, towards the end of the game, when Ghana was just defending, Korea was putting in crosses over and over and over and over because they had scored 2 goals from crosses. Iran did not have a game plan on how to approach the game and how to finish it off. They were still, even though the time was running, and I was still passively passing the ball back and forth, sideways. Go play some direct balls, try to be direct against the United States. And at the end of the day, actually, as you said, once the ball is on the pitch, it doesn't matter who the favorites are. It's about who is working harder, who is putting the best effort to be able to move on. And that's what the U.S.A. did today. So kudos to them. They are in the round of 16. And we'll be seeing how it goes, because this time a draw is not sufficient, because we have to go all the way to penalty shootouts in the next round.
As you said, the idea of Iran had a lot of the idea of going into the box. Iran had way more possession in the last 30-20 minutes, but the problem was they were going from the flanks, the right side wings, but every time they had possession, they kept possession for like 3 minutes and then 4 minutes, and they're like, hey, what are we gonna do? And then a sloppy just pass all the way inside the box. No, you don't do that. Like, it's because you at that point USA had 5 defenders or 6 defenders sometime, and it's going to be really impossible to just cross the ball that way and that your player is going to get it. So you have to find a way where you threat them, go deeper, do dribbling, or like press them, and then they move in different places, and then you pass the ball.
Yeah, I mean, even at that, you have to move the ball a little bit quicker. Their movement of the ball was slow, which means that even at some point when they're counter-attacked, they still allow the US to regroup. So you counter-attack, you break, and then you still allow them to regroup. And at some point, the US were defending with 5 at the back, and even at some point 7 at the back.
7 at the back, yeah.
So it's all about being able to find a way, and when you find a way, stick to that way, and then move that ball quicker. The quicker you move the ball, the better you are able to open up defensive teams.
Let's move on to the last game of the day. Wales versus England. There's not much to talk about. Wales, in my opinion, was really, really, really poor. They had no idea what they were doing. I don't know how they survived the first half without a goal. But in my opinion, Wales team is subpar, and they need to improve a lot. England, on the other side, They put a good show tonight. Yes. What do you think about the game?
I mean, England will always win, beat Wales in any way, in any form. They are not good. They're not a match. England have better players. England have a better setup. Wales, Scotland, they are all inferior to England in
England.
terms of football and mentally as well, in every area of the game. So this was just a game to fulfill our righteousness that it's the last group game of the World Cup for Wales and for England, and to see who keeps to the first position. And again, I mean, Wales, as you said, they were very, very poor. They didn't know what they were doing. Their first game, their second game, their last game. I think they just broke the record of not having been to the World Cup after a very long time. So it's kudos to them. They have achieved that, and now they can go home and they've come a long way. They had a very good Euros in the past 2 Euros, and that group of players, they still worked hard and found their way to the World Cup. So for players like Gareth Bale, they've played there at every level of the game, so they can just easily retire, right?
Yeah. What do you think about, like, speaking of England has such a big football scene, but Scotland, Wales, they don't even come close, or Ireland. What's lacking? Like, even in their leagues, they don't have a full 20 team league. It's not the same compared to even in the Champions League. Scottish teams just conceded. They didn't do much.
I mean, it's just the quality is not there. England is a multicultural country. You have all these players from different backgrounds and ages and nationalities that come in England, and also the branding of the English football is second to none in the world. So all the money is there. They can acquire any player, and if you're able to train with the world best players in your team every week and at your club level, it makes a difference. Wales does not have that. Ireland, and Northern Ireland as well, and Scotland, they don't have that. Not many foreign nationals go to those places to play. So again, England, the English league is judged to be the best league in the world. So you can compare that to what's happening in the other countries in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, one more thing about this game, and we move on to the next game, is that England today, the first half, England has a really bad habit of playing defensively in big competitions. The first half, I don't know, I didn't watch the entire half, but the sentiment that I get is that they were still trying to be defensive, and England does not play a very open game. In World Cup, they're just like, oh, we're gonna play safe, and
they are very boring to watch.
Yes, that's the point. They are very boring to watch.
With all the top players they have good defenders that can play the ball. They have midfielders, they have attackers, but they are very, very boring to watch. England is so boring. I don't know what their game approach is. I don't know whether they are saving energy for something. Look at the way Brazil plays. The intensity is so high. We were talking about Vinicius Jr. the other day. He doesn't stop running. If you remove Vinicius Jr., bring in Rodrigo, he will not stop running. Or there are other players on the bench there. English players, I don't know whether they feel, I don't know what is wrong with them, And that's why they will never win this tournament.
They would never win
this trophy
even with this squad and mentality. No, it's the same idea. Like in Beckham times, they did the same thing. Even in the next 16 rounds, they're going to try to play safe and then go in penalties and add more pressure
and then
themselves.
Exactly. I don't understand. I don't like their game. I used to be excited about the English national team, but that was when David Beckham, Paul Scholes, and Gerrard, and Lampard, and Michael Owen, Emil Heskey, and Gary Neville, Ferdinand, all those top players there. For me, those players were much more better than these ones that we have in terms of quality and personality. But again, I don't know what happens to them. Even at that era and this era, they play very boring football. No one wants to take risks. I don't know.
Yeah, changing manager doesn't change anything for them. Anyways, let's move on to the final segment of our show, which is tomorrow's game. So let's talk about the first games. It's going to be Group D, 10 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
Australia versus Denmark. They both have to win to move to the next round. What are your predictions?
I think Denmark will win this game. It's they have what it takes. They have the personality. They have the players. The players play in the best leagues in the world and best teams in the world. So Denmark is going to win. Australia, no offense, but they're not on the same level with Australia, with Denmark. Just that once the game starts.
Yeah, I would give to Denmark as well. They have more
Yeah.
exposure and more deeper squad.
Yeah.
Midfield is better than Australia. Second game is Tunisia versus France. I don't think there is any
it will be a one-sided game.
Yeah.
There's no argument. Unfortunately, Tunisia had Denmark and Australia to get any point or stand a chance of qualifying, you know, and I don't think France will let go. France will not drop their level of play. No. They're going to beat Tunisia.
There is no
Unfortunately, Tunisia might be the first African nation that is, you know,
going out of
the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next is Group C. Very competitive. Poland versus Argentina.
Is this group that all the 4 teams
can still qualify? Yes, Saudi Arabia and Mexico. So Poland versus Argentina.
If Poland doesn't beat Argentina, or if Argentina is unable to beat Poland, because Poland is topping the group with 4 points, and then Argentina has got 3 points, and then Saudi Arabia has 3 points, and then Mexico has 1 point. So Mexico will be playing to beat Saudi Arabia and get themselves 4 points, and hopefully Argentina beats Poland, and then Argentina and Mexico will qualify. Or if Argentina lose to Poland and Mexico beats Saudi Arabia by more than 2 goals, but more than 3, let's say 3 goals actually, then Argentina will bow out from this World Cup. This is unbelievable to hear, but it is what it is. So I think Argentina will beat Poland and Mexico will beat Saudi Arabia. Just that this Mexico-Saudi Arabia, I'm not really sure with the Mexican team, unfortunately.
Yeah, my thoughts are I don't want to say anything. I think anything can happen. Like Poland can beat Argentina. I'm nice. Saudi Arabia can also. It's a very 50-50 situation.
Yeah, we'll see. It will be a game to sit down and enjoy. I mean, I know, you know, as a Mexican national, I want Mexico to win, but I'm not confident in the team. I'm not confident in the manager, who I heard that he'll be leaving, you know, after the World Cup. For me, I made a comment on social media saying that he should be fired before this game. I mean, I think he should be gone before this Saudi Arabia game. But again, he's still there. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Let's see what happens. All right, so we made our predictions and that's it for today. Before we finish, please like our video on YouTube, share it, and subscribe to our channel. It's important. And also, if you have any thoughts about what we talk about in the video, please leave a comment, and we would love to engage in the conversation. And share it with your friends and on social media with the hashtag so that we can get some exposure. And yeah, that's it for today. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone.